Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, October 2nd, and we're very, very close to Boston Celtics basketball. By the time you're hearing this, it'll be tomorrow. Celtics are taking on the Nuggets in a pair of Abu Dhabi games, preseason games. We'll talk about that in a little bit. How you doing, Sam?
Doing great. We have less than, as Jack and I are recording this, we have about 38 hours until the 40 hours until the Celtics play. Forgot it was noon, not 10 a.m. And so I wrote about this a little bit today, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now. But one of the lines I used was like, the Celtics had the shortest offseason of all teams. Still was too long. It was awful. It might as well have been like a year because there was just no content because the team was set, which is like a bad or a good problem to have, right? Like, you don't want your team to be a dumpster fire that needs turnover, but at the same time, when you're making daily videos, it's not fun. I'm very happy. I'm thrilled. It's not often that you do get me to be happy, and I am happy.
Yeah. I'm pumped up. October's a good time of year. Basketball's almost back. And I need it. I want to talk about actual games, so we're getting closer. But before we get into the preview of the Celtics-Nuggets, Jaylen Brown was on the cover of Time magazine. He is the first Celtic to be on the cover of Time magazine since Larry Bird 40 years ago. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. They did a whole article, got the cover of the magazine, wearing a very interesting looking jacket. I don't really know how to describe it to audio listeners. It's cool. I can't.
Why is how you describe it?
I can't really describe it. Colin
Jack,
Kaepernick
what is the
wrote
cutoff
up the
for me
article.
cursing?
I just don't do it within like the first 5-ish minutes or so.
Okay.
Usually.
All right.
Sorry. I don't know if there actually is a cutoff. I just usually try to avoid it until
That's
we're like
fine.
pretty deep into the show. But I don't actually know if it impacts. I've just read that it could impact potential stuff, and so I figured better safe than sorry. I can swear later. But got the cover of Time magazine, as you can see if you're watching YouTube. Very, very fly, very good looking. Talked about a few things for the article that Time wrote up to go with this. He was named the Time 100 next. I don't exactly know what that is. I think it's just, it says right here, the world's most influential rising stars. Includes Sabrina Carpenter, Alexander Wang, Marlene Engelhorn, Anna Sawai, and obviously Jaylen Brown, and some more as well. JB sat down with an interview Time, talked about a few things, some intriguing tidbits. We can go one by one here that I picked from the article. There's probably plenty more. Go read it. He talked about those 2 weeks leading up to the finals, and apparently he was talking to Brad Stevens. He goes, big F in 2 weeks, just in case the swearing margin isn't here yet. I was like, oh man, we're going to be hard to beat. Stevens told Time in an interview, he said he knew what was coming and he was ready to take advantage of it. Our whole team was like that. He spoke that confidence loudly. It was not arrogant. It was, this is what it takes, and we're going to do everything we can to do it. So JB was apparently very confident before the finals, and this is just a very cool thing, seeing Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White sort of get the cover of these magazines. It's cool. It's a big deal, and they deserve it. I mean, they've delivered on the court, so now they get to deliver off the court.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with the Jaylen magazine, right? It's a little different than getting Slam. Not that Slam is anything to sneeze at, make no mistake. But Jaylen really does put in a lot of work. I mean, you went through the different things that he does off the court last season when he signed his mega deal. He brought all the kids from the Bridge program, made sure they were in attendance, got them into the. Did they get to go to the finals? I know they were part of the parade, but he made sure they were involved in the championship celebration. So Jaylen is very passionate about making Boston the better place, and that means a lot. And clearly it's being recognized because he's getting this kind of honor. So that is just an awesome thing for him to be able to, frame the magazine, whatever you want to do with it. It's excellent. Good work from Jaylen.
Yeah, he also talked about, sort of along those lines, Boston Exchange, which is the, what's the word for it? Initiative. Sorry, I couldn't think of that. He created, according to its website, is, quote, dedicated to fostering innovation and cultural diversity, empowering underinvested creators and entrepreneurs to thrive. It's a nonprofit initiative. It's going to, or hoping to generate $5 billion in generational wealth in communities of color in the city of Boston. He started it this summer. He talked about it. He said, this is not something that'll happen overnight. My goal is to be able to use all the resources I can at 27 years old and align with like-minded individuals and grow, throw everything we've got at this thing. It's a very committed to the community, improving the people around him. And it's been that way forever since he's been in Boston. And even before he got to Boston, I there was something in the article that I didn't write down here, but reason why he chose Cal, the classes he took at Cal. I think they spoke to like one of his professors who like he was in like a humanitarian class or something, and he connected the game of chess to how you can improve stuff around him. I need to look for the exact details, but he was basically like, I held him to the same standards as all the other students, and he still got an A. Like basically everything we've heard about Jaylen Brown, of him being like one of the smartest guys in the league. The article that Time wrote about him for this cover story was the title was how Jaylen Brown became the most interesting player in the NBA or something like that. Yeah, how Jaylen Brown became the NBA's most interesting player. And the exact chess thing, just for the context, he said, Brown focused his final paper on a chess as a metaphor for engagement in the world. Jaylen said, I learned about the word hegemony. Hegemony. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's subliminal.
I'm not going to try.
Hegemonic structures exist, but beneath the surface, there's a lot of hegemony in education, standardized testing, social satisfaction, or stratification. Clearly, I'm not a smart.
A lot of big words.
I can't even read the words. But Jaylen Brown, very impressive student, very impressive, just human in general. And so I think the fact that he was able to get on Time magazine and was named by Time as one of the most influential people in the world, basically, is a testament to just how he's so much more than a basketball player, because ever since he stepped in the league, he's done nothing but use his platform, even going to making his own shoe company, to try to be different, unique, and lift the people up around him.
Yeah, I mean, that's always what Jaylen has been about. It feels like ever since he joined the Celtics, he's been involved trying to make Boston better, make the community better. A few years ago, I think 2021, when they played the Nets in the playoffs, Kyrie was basically taking shots at Boston and the Celtics. And Jaylen went up on the podium and kind of called him out. And of course, I love that. But I also love what he had to say. He was talking about, really, if you have an issue with the place and you have the power to do so, you should make a change. And Jaylen has walked the walk on that one. He has really put in the time, the effort, putting all of these nonprofits together, all of the initiatives, and really making sure things go well. That's been his drive ever since he's really gotten the financial means to do so. Now you have the shoe company, and whether I think the shoes are safe or not is another thing, but it's still a good thing, right? You're still giving people their options. You're making someone or something that is yours. You're putting it in a place where it can make your community better. And Jaylen has always been about that.
Yeah. And I mean, outside of that stuff, they talked to Scal for the Time article, which I thought was funny because it's just kind of random. But he said Jaylen Brown's playing a different game. It's almost like, cool, I know I can't snap that right to left crossover, but I'm going to keep trying. As human beings, don't we all wish we were like that? No fear, no inhibition at all. More than anything that he does, it's his unwavering confidence in his work and ability to not let the media or fans or anybody dictate what kind of player he's going to be. That's the most redeeming quality I find in him. Jaylen also talked about his relationship with Jason Tatum, because that's been a topic of conversation for years. He said that I'm just going to read it here because I can't explain it without reading just what was written in the Time article. Brown once proffered that Celtics fans who've put him and Tatum into the Team Tatum and Team Brown camps, quote, have more of a hard time coexisting than him and I do. He said, we have a championship level relationship. History is going to remember us both for what we accomplished this past season. I think we have a lot more in store for people. Also, this is just a side note, Rand. I, as someone who writes, I love using fancy words. If people are struggling to read the article, it's not a good article. I'm sorry. Use normal words, bro. I get using fucking Googling, synonym for said. Like, just say fucking said, dude. Just cut the shit. I hate people who try to sound like I spice this shit up. I use metaphors. I'll throw some different wording in there. I'll use descriptors. If you are just using fancy words for the sake of it, it makes it harder to read, and that is not a good product.
I like that. I like that.
Sorry.
Let him know, Jack.
Bro, Crawford, who've retreated into Tatum and Brown. Shut the fuck up.
Go
come
take
on,
their
man.
job, Jack. Go take
It's
it.
so frustrating. Yeah, I'm going to take a Time magazine job. Who am I to say anything? Shit.
I will say I do agree. I mean, I have fun when I write, but I talk like
There's
me.
a balance.
Nobody
there's
talks
a
like that.
balance.
If you read something I write and you know me, you should be able to hear me.
Oh, man. Anyways.
I like that you got pissed at that. It's good.
Not like there. I mean, like good writing with a nice mix of words. Like there's a balance there between obnoxious and what's the word? Adam Sandler in that movie where he had to go back to preschool as an adult. What is that
Billy
called?
Madison?
Yeah, there's a difference between obnoxious and Billy Madison level education, right? Come on, man. I want to be able to read what I'm reading here. I don't want to have to stumble through it as I'm like Crawford.
You know, RJ's listening to this and like crafting his next email.
Crawford, dude.
What does it actually mean? Does it have any other meaning other than just said, or
to offer something by holding it out, or to offer advice or an opinion?
Sure.
Shut up, man.
Word of the day, Crawford.
Fuck you. If you use the word Crawford, I don't like you. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways,
just lost half our audience.
I know, right?
Time writer just left.
None of these fuckers knew Crawford.
You don't think Joey Spatula's knew Crawford?
Joey Spatula's, comment down below if you knew the word Crawford. I knew the word Crawford. I
had never heard of that word before. When you said
know what it is.
I was
it's
like half paying attention. I was like looking at the sheet, just seeing what's up, and then I was like, "Wait, what? What did you just say?"
I was trying to like paraphrase what the author was saying, so I wasn't just reading shit over and over again. And then I read it. I'm like, I don't even know how to paraphrase this, so I just have to read it because this is ridiculous. Like I couldn't even like fathom how to figure out. Anyways, next thing we got Celtics preseason action is getting started. Tomorrow, as you're listening to this, they play the 4th and the 6th of October in Abu Dhabi against the Denver Nuggets. Basketball is back. Jaylen Brown's already talked about how he'd like to play in the games. I'm curious to see what the minutes look like. You have to imagine the starters aren't going to play actual minutes, but at the same time, like with an event like this, the NBA's goal is obviously to put the stars in front of fans in a different setting. Exactly, yeah. So you're definitely going to see Tatum, Brown, Horford, Drew, Derek, all that stuff, Jokic. You probably won't see them past the third quarter at the latest, but we shall see. I'm excited.
It's exciting nonetheless. You know how exciting it is, Jack? It's exciting enough for me to have written 1,700 words on what you should be paying attention to. Not just Friday, but also throughout the preseason. So I'll go through. I'm not going to read it, but I know what I wrote.
Yeah.
I wrote so much that I had to go get Jersey Mike's in the middle of it because I was fading. You know how it is. When you write like a long piece like that, you just are like, am I even making sense anymore? Am I writing mush? Like,
yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get out of here, man. Gotta get out of here. But yeah, so there's several fun storylines. I mean, anytime the preseason rolls around, right? First and foremost, you're just excited to see the fellas. Haven't seen them in a while. Seeing them out there playing basketball, change your life. But in a more in-depth note, the rookies. Every year it's the rookies. You always want to see the rookies. It's always exciting. It's usually I don't want to say more fun when they're at home, but it is more fun when they're at home because when those guys check in, they get a really nice round of applause, and there is like a moment to it that won't happen in this game, I don't believe. But it is going to be our first look at both Baylor Scheierman and Anton Watson. Scheierman, first-round pick. Watson, second-round pick. Everybody knows about Scheierman. Some people know about Watson. Who are you more excited for, Jack? I'm curious.
I think long-term, I am more excited for Anton Watson. I think Baylor Scheierman has the better opportunity to play actual minutes this season.
Okay.
I think both could be really good players in the NBA. I think Anton Watson's defensive talent makes him a more intriguing long-term piece because as much as I think it's harder to teach defense than it is to teach shooting and like being an effective offensive player. I think Scheierman's a great offensive player. I think he's a fine defensive player. He definitely needs some work, some coaching. But Anton Watson is already in an NBA body, already knows how to play defense. And he showed in summer league he's not afraid to let it fly. So hopefully you can find or he can find, I should say, some of that consistent success at the NBA level too. But I'd say I'm more excited to watch Shireman as an individual and Anton Watson, how he fits with the Stars. Because I think Shireman is more adept to fitting in and being like a good player on his own. I think Anton Watson is more in the like, not that Al Horford's not a good player, but like he is very clearly best when there are star players around him. I think that's more of what Anton Watson could thrive in. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on PrizePicks for every week in September. That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. Also, you can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. Sam and I used PrizePicks all season long while on How Bout Them Celtics pregame shows. We picked Jason Tatum dunks, we picked Drew Holiday steals, we picked a ton of stuff, especially during the finals when Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, we were kind of preying on their downfall. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly. When you play $5, that's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game.
Yeah, I think they're both exciting in their own respects. I think they're just different players. Personally, I really loved what I saw from Watson in Summer League. Like, the both of us went to Summer League. We went into it really being like, this dude Shireman, watch out. He can shoot. He passes the ball well. He's a smart player. Like, he's more than just a white dude that's out there shooting threes. And he still is. But Watson really kind of like stole the show, especially in the later games, because 1, he started getting more responsibility, but 2, he was just consistently setting himself up to succeed. He was always in the right spot, whether he was defending and he was sliding and he was getting in good defensive position, he was crashing the offensive glass, or he was cutting, making timely cuts. Like, he got his buckets and his productivity in ways, like you mentioned, that you could imagine him doing it alongside the Stars. And as we head into this season without Porzingis as an organization, I just said we, and I didn't do it on purpose. As the Celtics head into this season, it's like a Cardinals thing, man. I hate the we. He's like a sleeper guy that may get extra minutes early. It's not something that I feel very confident in because I really believe in all 3 of Kornet, Tillman, and Queta as players. I think they're good. I think they have had experience eating those backup big man minutes. But if somebody's resting or whatever, you could see Watson sneak in a couple of times and just give everyone a sneak peek of what is to come. So the first dose of that will come Friday. Shireman is very exciting just for the future, like you mentioned. Like, this is a guy, he does have a good skill set, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could eat real minutes this year too, because he is different enough from Sam Hauser where you feel like they could be on the floor at the same time and it wouldn't be too redundant. But need to see where he is physically now, because he put on 10 to 15 pounds this summer and he worked really hard. So I'm looking to see if he can hang with some of these stronger guys in Denver, if he even gets to play against them. Who knows? But yeah, I love the prospect of next up.
I'm excited about the rookies. What'd you say?
Who's the big guy? Who's it going to be? That's the other exciting to fucking look at the whole time. And it's going to be talked about for the whole first half of the season because there's a wide open opportunity for Kornet, Tillman, and Queta. I know Tillman's your guy, so go ahead.
You know who I'm excited for. Dude, I cannot tell you how much, like, I don't think I can express how much I love Xavier Tillman. Like, just not even as a basketball player, just as a person. Like, I think I've told this. I don't know if I've said this story in here before, but like during the finals, I talked to him for the Luka Doncic story. Obviously, I think I have said this a million times, but like, I just also just sat with him and talked for like 20 minutes after we did the interview, just like off the record, like just hanging out. And he's just like genuinely the nicest person that I've gotten, like one of the nicest people I've gotten to talk to. So I'm rooting for him, obviously, like selfishly. But yeah, I'm excited. I think he also just fits the best on the court because the same thing with like defense, like he's already an incredible defender. There's also this picture from Dubai of all the fellas hanging out in front of, I don't know what this is, apologies, but the whole team.
Don't even try and guess.
No.
You're going to be wrong.
I will say, though, interesting. Tristan Enaruna, not in the picture. Don't know if that means he's not with the team anymore, but just it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
He
But
took the picture. They had to have somebody take it.
yeah, right.
Who the fuck do you think took the
but
picture?
I will also say Dmitros Kapintsev, rocking the glasses. Just
Jack
rocking.
is a fan.
Look at him. Look at him out there. But yeah, I'm excited for Tillman. I'm excited for Springer. I know that's your guy. I'm excited for Cornette. I'm excited for Kada. The rookies. Lonnie Walker, obviously, Jordan Walsh Tribute. Like everybody who's not in the top 8 of the rotation, I'm excited to watch to see what they can do. I just want to watch basketball again, man.
It's the best part of
I just want to see him play. Exactly.
Because Walker and Springer are essentially like first time we've seen him, guys. Not so much with Springer. You can make the case we got to see him last year, but not really. Like him and Tillman almost had the same fate after the trade deadline. Like neither one of them really got real minutes. Tillman got some in like the late playoffs, but like before that, like he really wasn't playing. And everybody was like, this guy's better than he's being treated. Springer is Springer. He's 21. Like nobody expected him to play. Oh, he always felt like a project. And now we get to see what step 1 of the project looks like. Did he make any progress this summer? Is he making threes? Does he look more comfortable shooting the ball? How is his defense? You know, is he going to flip the game on its head? Is he going to be the best player on the floor? You never know. Never know. But also Lonnie Walker, first time seeing him. That's probably everyone's favorite storyline that's listening to this because it's the unknown. It's the one guy, 3 if you count the rookies, the one guy that came here this summer and was not on the team last year, that was in the NBA last year. The only one. That's something to look forward to. Is he going to make threes? Is he going to be looking real good next to JT and Jaylen? Is he going to even play with those guys? You're also going to get like a small hint of what Joe's mental rotation is. Like, you're not going to know exactly what it's going to be, but you're going to get like, oh, like he sees this guy as this part of the game. Like, this guy's a garbage time guy. This guy is not. And I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to watch everybody. I'm very excited to watch basketball again. Lonnie Walker will be fun to watch. Obviously, you've heard him talk about doing whatever it takes. Maybe he'll be in Maine. Maybe he'll be with the team. I'm still skeptical. I'm still skeptical they fill the final roster spot. But that's just kind of been what I've been on. I would love to be proved wrong. Like, hey, if Lonnie Walker hits, like, I'll sit here, I'll be wrong, and I'll be happy about it because I do think he's a good player, and I do think he's got talent, but I just don't know if the Celtics, especially considering they're selling the team because father and son fought about spending money, are going to spend more money. But we'll see. Again, it could very well be wrong, but yeah, man, rookies are exciting. Pritchard's exciting. Hauser's exciting. Cornette, Kada, the whole bunch. Everybody out in Abu Dhabi playing against the Nuggets, who are also exciting because lost another rotation guy for the second year in a row, and now they're going to depend on Christian. What do Christian Brown and Peyton Watson look like? What do Julian Strother, what does he look like? Sucks that Deron Holmes obviously isn't going to be there for the season because I was excited to watch him too because he was going to play probably a big role. I forget if it was Achilles or ACL, but he's going to be out for the whole season. He tore it like 5 minutes into his summer league debut, which is awful. But past 2 champions, this is kind of what you dream of if you're the NBA and you're sending 2 teams to Abu Dhabi. So the Celtics haven't beat the Nuggets in over a year and a half, right? In a long time because they didn't beat them last season.
Yeah, they didn't beat them last year.
They were the only team in the NBA the Celtics did not get a win against last year. So revenge time, I suppose. Joe's.
If you don't sweep them, then the season's dead.
Joe's going to bring that up. Joe is going to be like, yeah, you guys didn't beat these fuckers last year. You know that. You guys didn't beat them.
Suit up. I know he can't. It'd be really funny if he was out there in the preseason games.
He's also playing in practice.
2 quick things that aren't on the timestamps at the top of the sheet. One, the T-shirt that Joe has with the tour dates is sick, or the tour cities. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
sick. If Nike wants to make money and hoe all of us, start selling those for like $50. People will buy them instead of making shitty jerseys. For all
is it just because the name's on the back? Was there anything more to it than that?
It's just cool. It's like a different kind of shirt. It's like the Celtics is like Boston Celtics World Tour. And it had like Abu Dhabi and then all the NBA cities. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. They give the team all these like cool, unique shirts, items that are not available to the public. Like Joe had one that was like a crossword last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it. It is
wood.
Like just
unequivocally wood.
Sure.
You disagree. That's
It's just a bunch of names on a shirt. I don't. It's just a bunch of cities on a shirt. It is literally just every NBA city listed on the back of a shirt. I mean, I get why you think it's cool. I don't know. I didn't.
Second thing.
It didn't pop into my mind when I saw it.
Peyton Pritchard claims he's the best overall athlete on the Celtics. Thoughts?
He took it back. He was joking.
Oh, he did?
Well, no, he said in the same clip, he said, I'm just joking. It's probably Jaylen. Yeah, no shot. No shot. Pritchard's the best athlete.
They should have to do like an Olympics.
It's definitely Jaylen. If I had to guess,
Oh, yeah.
I would say
undoubtedly Jaylen.
Right? I'm trying to think. Like, the only one who would have
Luke Cornett.
Yeah, the only other one who'd have a chance, I guess, is Tatum, because he's jacked as well. Big shoulders.
I bet Holiday has a pretty good chance.
Yeah, maybe. He just feels more stocky than like pure athlete.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
that he's not athletic, obviously, but I'm trying to think if there are any like bench guys that I would put in the conversation too. O'Shea probably shouted it last year, but I think that's about it for the guys this year. Definitely not Shireman yet. Anyways, last thing before we get to the email is the Maine Celtics made a trade, Sam. They traded Tony Snell to the Sioux Falls Skyforce, the Miami G League team. Shout out Tony Snell. And they got back Cheick Diallo. Now, Sam, when is the last year you heard the name Cheick Diallo?
2024.
Before this.
Today. Never.
You've never heard? Oh, really? Oh, he's played in the NBA for 5 years, from 2016 to 2022. Played for the Pelicans, most notably for 3 years, then Phoenix for a stop, and Detroit for 3 games in the 21-22 season. He at his best, he was playing like 14 minutes a night. He was like a Luke Cornett type big for the Pelicans. He averaged 6 and 5. But he's been spending the past couple years, got the hiccups, in the G League, or I should say 2 years ago in the G League. It's weird. Yeah. He was in this trade. He hasn't been in the G League in 2 years. 21-22, he played for the Motor City Cruise. Averaged 15 and 10. I don't know where he's been since. We don't have to spend too long on this, but okay, yeah. He played for 2 different international teams this past season. He played, played for Kyoto Henneries in the Japanese B League and Osos de Manati in the Puerto Rican League. And he averaged 13 and 7. So the Maine Celtics got Cheick Diallo. And for anybody hoping for him to develop, he is 28 years old. So you get what you get.
Good trade. Good trade. You got younger, nonetheless.
There you go. Anyways, let's jump to the email here. That was just a quick thing. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. Again, hptcpod@gmail.com. Be like RJ. Send us an email. I've had something in my throat for the past few days. If you can't hear it, I've needed to cough every waking moment for the past 2 days. It's been not fun. But first one from Joe Abbey. Training camp in NBA Middle East. Hey, fellas, really excited to see Joe Mazzulla beat the snot out of the players in training camp, crush that championship hangover immediately. Really going to be fun to see the Celtics fly over to the Emirates and play in Abu Dhabi. Wish they could play in other Middle Eastern cities such as Beirut. I hear it's quite okay. Jaylen Brown spending time with Saudi and Bahrain makes me wonder if the NBA is pushing for Middle East markets share and is slowly trying to get the Arabic nations on board with the NBA investment. On top of that, NBA journeymen often seem to end up playing in clubs in the Middle East, Israel, Lebanon, and Turkey. So having it be such a big source of revenue for the future and maybe way out expansion seems to be the NBA's goal. Joe's slander of the day. The Knicks are absolutely bums. I get
agree.
that Randall was inconsistent, but I would personally rather have Randall and DiVincenzo than Karl-Anthony Towns because of the depth and size. It's a big risk, especially when you figure that Tibbs is going to make him cry in the first month. The poor guy.
True.
I struggle to see how the Celtics don't look at a Brunson Cat PNR defense and start dreaming of honey glazed barbecue chicken.
True.
On top of that, poor Cat has to deal with New York fans who will certainly bring up his Jesus Christ dead relatives as even a subpar game in the big moment. He couldn't have gone to a worse team for his personality either. He doesn't have the gritty exterior New York wants to rally around. Also, the Wolves need to be investigated for trading away their other franchise long-term player for checks notes, expiring Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Glenn Taylor should be drawn and quartered for his crimes against Minnesota after having part of the most success since Kevin Garnett ripped away and replaced with, again, Julius Randle and expiring. Anyways, glad training camp is back. The Pats make me want to drink Jesus Christ. Thanks for providing content all summer. We made it. Let's go seize Joe. Joe, you're trying to get us demonetized.
We made it.
I skipped over the parts where I could. I think the Cat's
email.
Yes. I think the Cat soft stuff is overrated. He was part of the best defensive team in Minnesota this past year. He's going to obviously be playing a different role, but he has proven he can be a fine enough defender to hold up, especially when the Knicks have a great defensive infrastructure around him with Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. I also think his offensive upside is going to make it very worth it for them. And then I think Julius Randle is a fine player. I think the fit is obviously less good for them than with Cat in Town, but I do think he's a better perimeter defender, so maybe that'll make life a little bit easier on Rudy Gobert down low, so it's not as clogged. And, this is an investment in Naz Reid, and I also think Dante DiVincenzo is going to be good for them. And also, above all else, this was a money move. They're going to try to save money, and so they're not paying a tax bill billions of dollars every year. Unfortunately, as much as it sucks, that's just the CBA.
Lame.
But thank you, Joe.
Yes, thank you, Joe. I love that you always include some slander. It's very nice. I'm surprised they don't do like a little bit more of like a European tour. I think that's an interesting point. Like you take your favorite 6 teams in the NBA and you just kind of like have them tour around the big cities, and like you can have Celtics play the Knicks in London, and then they play the Nuggets in Abu Dhabi. I mean, I know those 2 places are not exactly close, but like you can kind of make like a fun tour out of it and give the people a little bit of a showcase. It would be fun.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. Next email we got is from Mostakim Hossein.
Thank you.
Who says, boost your YouTube success with a few strategic tweaks. Hi, hope all is well with you. I'm not reading this. It's a spam SEO email.
There's nothing I hate more than I hope all is well. It's awful.
Why? I said that at the start of every email.
I know you're like supposed to, because you're supposed to say it. It doesn't feel genuine.
Supposed to be nice. It's just the kind thing to do.
Plus, there's always
all
like,
is not well.
Something is not well. Yeah.
All is not well, Mostakim. Report fishing. And then playback. Maybe we'll get back on playback this year, but we weren't allowed to last year. Anyways, that's all we got for emails today. Thank you very much. Make sure, again, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Send us an email there. I love going to watch football in person. It might not be Sam's taste, but I personally love going to watch a Pats game, even though they're not in the best place right now. I saw them play the Chiefs last year, and even though Kansas City absolutely won the game, it was still a great time, and I make sure to get all my tickets through Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Me and my friends are going to see the Red Sox tonight, and guess what? Game Time was the choice. You can pick the great deals, and like I just mentioned, you can filter out all the fees, you can filter out everything to make sure you are getting the best deal possible. That is my favorite thing, getting to know what the exact price is before I purchase, because I know I'm getting the best deal on Game Time. You can see the view from your seat, you get the lowest price guaranteed, even if it's canceled. Cancellation protection is great. It's the perfect app to buy all your tickets. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and everything else. I saw Noah Khan this summer, and guess what? Game Time came in clutch. All in pricing, again, my favorite thing. Toggling this feature shows you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Jumping over to the NBA here. The Raptors can't stop hitting. They're back. They've got the purple jerseys, Sam. They're bringing back the Heat this season.
Pull it up.
Yes,
pull
sir.
it up.
Let me find it here.
You know what's funny? Just I feel like generally in sports, a lot of the fan favorite uniforms come from dark ages for the teams.
Let's see. Yeah, kind of. Here we go. Yeah, these are the unis. Got Bruce Brown sporting it here.
Yeah, that's good.
Now,
who the fuck is 35?
I pride myself in knowing all the NBA players. I don't know who either of those people are. Do you know 3?
Yeah, I don't know either.
Shit. All right, let's take a look. Raptors Spot Track. Sorry. Let's see. Who are these people? I'm gonna know the names.
Going to the review.
Okay,
this guy somewhat looks like me.
There's no numbers here. There's no numbers there. Raptors training camp roster. You guys couldn't roll out like Grady Dick? Really, guys?
He's probably
What are we
busy.
doing? What are we fucking doing? We couldn't throw. You're gonna throw Bruce Brown and then two people that aren't gonna make the team.
That was Scotty Barnes, wasn't it?
No, this is Bruce Brown.
He was far away, and it's small on my screen.
Bruce Brown. Where the hell is the training camp roster? For what it's worth,
pretty cool.
For what it's worth, Jamias Ramsey made the Raptors training camp roster. If you're wondering where he is,
good for him. He's a good player.
Yes.
I hope he gets real time in Toronto.
I still can't find the training camp roster. Okay, Raptors roster ESPN. I'm not moving on until I know who these two people are. I'm sorry, podcast.
So
listeners.
The Raptors actually weren't like as bad as I thought when they had these jerseys. Like they made the playoffs at least once with them.
I found it. Okay. So 3 and 35. DJ Carton is number 3.
Okay.
And Brandon Carlson is number 35. Or no, that's 25.
Hockey.
That's 25. Who's 35? 35. Is it 35 or 25? 35? Did they just random guy? That's not. Oh, wait. Brandon Carlson. Where are the numbers? Oh. Yeah, 30. It is Brandon Carlson. Yes. Okay, Brandon Carlson. They're both rookies, I think. I assume. I don't know why they were the models for this. That's crazy to me. That's Emmanuel Quigley. Look at that. Look how easy that was, putting an actual fucking player in it.
All right.
Insane to me. What do we do in Toronto? Be better. I'm sorry. Sorry, Carlson. Sorry, Brandon. You guys get it. This photo shoot is cool though with Scotty. Afro Scotty. Have you seen Afro Scotty?
Now I have.
He's got the fro.
The best part is they didn't use him.
Yeah. They did in like a different one, but it's not on their own page. I hope is this it? Maybe they used Scotty here. Yeah, okay. They used everybody here. These jerseys are objectively sick though. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they're good jerseys. They're good.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. I also I know you don't like Nike, but I do. Jesus Christ, I'm getting ear fucked. I do like differentiating with like the word here. I think it looks cool. Just different. But yeah, the Raptors don't miss, man. Shout out the Raptors. 2 solid jerseys this year. Brought back the they call the lightning stripes and then the purple ones. You were saying how they were not as bad as you thought. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think they made the playoffs at least once. So I just think everyone likes the red Patriots jerseys, and when the Patriots wore those jerseys, they were awful.
Yeah.
It just feels like teams have to put a gimmick jersey together when their team sucks because nobody's gonna care, nobody's gonna buy it, but you'll buy it if that's the case. If
it looks cool. Yeah, that is the Vince
I'm really
Carter.
Struggling to think, but I know I'm right. Trust me, I'm right.
I can't think either. The only one I thought of was the Vice jerseys, but the Heat were good when they had the Vice jerseys.
They weren't really well. They had the Vice jerseys for so long that they bled into being good. But the first time they had them, I think it was Wade's last season, and they didn't make the playoffs.
So maybe there's that. Yeah, I don't know what they need to bring those back. I don't know why they retired them. The Vice jerseys were a hit. Just stop trying to own everybody.
That's why.
They'll bring them back eventually. I'm convinced. Next thing, the Knicks found a CBA loophole to complete.
They should be punished.
Karl-Anthony Towns trade. So the rule in the CBA is you cannot aggregate minimum salaries in deals. However, the Knicks signed and traded Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown Jr., and Dwayne Washington, all of whom they signed to contracts who were $1 more than the NBA league minimum. So they just gave them the exact dollar amount plus 1, and then technically that is allowed under the CBA. And apparently, according to Fred Katz, I've heard from various people that the league isn't thrilled about this, but such is the way it goes with new CBAs. The NBA tries to close up loopholes, and then smart people working for teams find new ones. These are the people you want to hire. This is exactly what you want.
If you're an NBA player and they offer you $1 above the minimum, you should turn into the Punisher. You're no, wait, because you're cooked.
Hey, if I'm, all due respect, if I'm Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown, and Dwayne Washington, and I'm getting a minimum contract in the NBA, thank you very much. I will take them.
Well, they're not. They're getting more than the minimum.
Exactly. So they should be happy. Something else I saw from, I think, Keith Smith. tweeted it out. Dwayne Washington was playing with, I think it's KK Partisan, overseas when he was signed and traded, but it was like some wild like twists and turns that had to happen because like KK Partisan wanted him to play in their last couple like playoff games or something, and then but he also needed to find and traded in time for the season. And so the Hornets could have him for camp. And so there was, there was like a ton of like bargaining between the Timberwolves, the Knicks, KK Partisan, and the Hornets, like 4 teams and the NBA with the CBA to like get this deal to happen. And I'm not smart enough to fully understand it, but I just think the fact that an overseas team had to also be involved was really interesting. And this deal was apparently, from the way it was described by Keith on Twitter, is like impossible. Like it should not have happened, and still managed to make it happen. That said, the Hornets did get a little payday to help. The final compensation of the trade for all 3 teams involved was as followed: Karl-Anthony Towns and the draft rights to James Nagy to New York. That's from the Hornets. Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Keita Bates-Diop, and a 2025 first-round pick to the Timberwolves. And then Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown Jr., Dwayne Washington, 3 seconds and $7.2 million in cash to the Hornets in the deal. James Nagy is apparently somebody that Hornets fans really liked. I kind of liked him coming to that draft because I was covering the Hornets at the time. And he is like a bruising big man. So eventually down the line, maybe the Knicks could bring him over. And yeah, first round pick is Detroit's, but I think it's very, very heavily protected. And then 3 seconds to Charlotte.
Why are people not talking about punishing the Knicks? I mean, they should be ashamed breaking the rules like this. They just made this.
They didn't break the rules. They didn't break the rules. They found
a very sneaky loophole. You shouldn't be rewarded
by definition. They didn't break the rule. They literally, the whole point of what they did was to avoid what you said. So I think you're wrong here, brother. They did exactly what you didn't say.
It's shameful. They knew what they were doing. And those poor guys were humiliated because not only were they on minimum contracts, but then they were used as bait for $1. It's insulting. Do you think $1 covered the charges of them moving their families? Probably not.
No, but the $2 million they got probably did pretty well for them.
They probably could have got that money somewhere else and not burned it. But no, they chose to be with the Knicks.
The Pistons pick that the Timberwolves got in the I have no response. I don't know. I don't know how to be a part of the bit. You can do your bit. You can do your bit, and I'm not going to be a part of it. The Pistons first round pick, for context, it's top 16. In 2025, it's top 13 protected. 2026, it's top 11 protected. Top 2027, top 9 protected. And if it's not out of there by then, they get a 2027 second. So if the Pistons are who Sam says they are, the Timberwolves would be feeling pretty good. But if not, they're going to get a second round pick in a few years.
Can't be feeling that great. I mean, they
clearly
probably going to get a shitty pick. Do they make it like, what is it? You said how many protected?
Yeah, it's 20 top 13 and 25, 11 and 26, 9 and 27.
Yeah, they're gonna get like the 16th pick this year. I'd be heated.
I'd do that and then get 7, which is what they're gonna get because the Pistons ain't making the playoffs.
I would hate that.
Anyways, next thing we've got is the Bulls are reportedly trying to trade Zach LaVine, to which I say, stop telling us this. You
can try as hard as you want. Nobody wants him.
Listen,
clearly,
I have been on this show time and time again, and I stand on. I think Zach LaVine could be an effective player in the right spot, but not for $45 million.
Correct.
No one's taking that deal. No one.
And also, like, how many times are you gonna huff and puff and fail to blow the fucking house down, Chicago? He's still there. He's still standing. Even Lonzo is back before you could trade Zach LaVine. That's the crazy part. Lonzo, who has a whole new knee and said he expects to play opening night, is on your team on the floor before you could trade this guy. What does that say? Jack's absolutely right. The contract is so bad that nobody wants to touch it. Philadelphia could have went and got him this summer. They got Paul George for free. Who would you rather have? I'd rather have Paul George. And listen, that's
much
not a
rather
knock on Zach LaVine. Paul George
No,
is a
it's
good
a
player.
knock on Zach LaVine.
But like what I'm saying is, even the teams that do have the cap space, there's always going to be, I would rather give this guy this money instead of Zach LaVine, because it's ultimately going to lead to exactly what you're seeing, it seems.
It would take a close to equally as bad contract and probably a couple seconds out of Chicago to get it. I'm not doing that if I'm the Wizards. I'd rather have Jordan Poole. I'd rather have the hope that he could turn it around because he's at least young.
Can we
right?
go through some teams quick? Like
Sure.
let's just like think of awful deal. Dame.
No, Dame's far better than Zach LaVine. The Clippers were the team that I thought of.
Okay.
But that doesn't make sense because I think all these players are more useful at their contracts than he is at his.
Would you trade him for Brad Beal? I think I would. If I'm Chicago, I would be more than happy. I mean, if I'm Phoenix, I would be more than happy.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That is like the one deal that I wouldn't do if I was Chicago. I'd rather have Zach LaVine. You found the one. You found the one.
I found the one guy.
Yeah, no.
I need to start making fun of Brad Beal. I got to be an equal opportunity guy with the salaries. If you're making that money, you're going to get it from me.
I mean, maybe you do like.
You know it's bad when you pull up the D'Angelo Russell salary, the contract that was only signed so he could be a trade bait piece.
Dude, the thing is, D'Angelo's contract isn't even that bad for what he brings.
Not anymore.
He's fine.
It's not
exactly. Bad. I'm not taking. If I'm the Lakers, I'm keeping D'Lo.
There. You can't be worried about D'Angelo Russell.
If I'm the Lakers, I'm keeping D'Lo. They're the Kings. No. Kevin Huerter. Like, you can't even get to the salary point with that.
DeRozan be like, I can't even get away from
the only thing I can think of is I think was it Joey Spatulas who DM'd me like 3 weeks ago. And he said, if the Bucks are bad enough at the deadline, do you think they get desperate enough and trade Chris Middleton for Zach LaVine? And I said, I don't think so. But now that we've learned that Zach LaVine is already hurt going into the season,
Middleton's hurt, to clarify.
Middleton's hurt.
It's okay.
Maybe think about it. However, I don't actually think it's possible because the Bucks can't aggregate players in a trade, and Zach LaVine makes $10 million more than Chris Middleton. So I literally do not think you could do the deal.
If you're the Raptors, do you do it so you sell more of those sick jerseys?
No, absolutely not.
Is anyone buying a Zach LaVine jersey? Is that happening? It's a good question.
Probably not. Do your Pistons do it? No, your Pistons.
No, we got some going.
Do you do, if you're the Wizards, do you do like, here's Malcolm Brogdon and Rashawn Holmes, give us a first round pick, we'll take Zach LaVine's.
I forgot that Brogdon was on the Wizards now.
Did you see what he said? He goes, it's been a dream of mine to put on this jersey, and everyone on Twitter's like, cap. Everyone's just saying you're lying. You're just lying.
Credit to him for keeping a straight face.
I think it's because he played at like VCU, and so like he was in the area, blah blah blah. That's
I see. Where's he from?
Not there. I think I looked it up when I saw the quote. He's from like not there. I'm sorry. Wikipedia is loading. He's from Atlanta. Yeah. So
yeah,
just
everybody from Atlanta just wants to wear a Wizards jersey.
I mean, they probably don't want to wear Hawks jerseys either, so I guess it makes sense.
Some of the Hawks jerseys have been cool. I'm just saying, Hawk on the front.
I'm more saying the franchise doesn't really have much weight to it.
You know what? I thought of this. We're gonna do it. So I was listening. I'm gonna admit theft. I was listening to part of my take today, and what they had was this website. It's called Champs or Chumps, and what this website does is give you a grade for what it is like to be a fan of X team for the last 10 years. So
I see.
We'll click on the Atlanta Hawks.
Here, I'll pull it up here. I got it.
Pull it up.
How do I do Hawks? Do I?
You have to go to NBA at the top.
NBA.
And then you just click your team.
Atlanta Hawks.
You scroll down a little bit.
Nope. Okay.
There it is at the top.
I see. Right here. C+.
C+ to be a fan of the Hawks. And it tells you, it goes year by year of the last 10 years and what their finish was, how far they went in the playoffs.
Okay.
How many NBA, I have not looked at this. How many NBA teams do we think have an F?
I bet the
Pistons, undoubtedly.
Last 10 years. I bet it's not an F. I bet it's like a D.
No, Pistons is undoubtedly an F. I'm telling you right
Okay.
now. I haven't even looked.
Okay.
Pistons have to be 1.
It's an F. Okay, you're right. Sure. Is this just last 10 years? Is what it is?
This is the last 10 years.
10 years F.
Washington's
I wonder if Kings
probably 1.
I think the King. I wonder if the Kings are real bad.
Kings have to be because they only made the playoffs once.
F minus. Okay,
F
they're worse than the
minus.
Pistons.
Okay.
Okay. Who'd you say?
I said Washington. I know they had a couple of decent seasons.
They had the Beal and
yeah, maybe
Wall.
they're not enough. Maybe they're like
D plus. They're D
D
plus. They had the Beal and Wall. That saves them a little bit. Excuse me.
Toronto
I wonder. I
championship.
mean, the Clippers have made the playoffs. Okay, so they're C plus, but I was gonna say they've gotten bounced every year.
Can you do Orlando?
Yeah, they're probably pretty bad. F minus. Yeah. Okay.
F minus.
F minus. F minus is not great for Orlando.
Do Chicago. Did we do Chicago?
No, Chicago's probably really
Chicago,
bad.
Charlotte.
D. How are they? Oh,
just because
they're hanging on.
Oh,
they're hanging on because they
Rose
got the
back.
Derrick Rose years and just in the last years, just barely. Are the Celtics like an A plus?
Yeah, they got to be an A plus because they made
Just an A.
Like,
Just an A. Who's an A plus then?
Golden
The Warriors.
State.
Warriors. I bet they're an A plus. Yeah. Are they A plus plus? Something like that. Just A plus. Okay.
A+.
Yeah. Fair enough. Who else am I missing?
Pacers.
Utah. No, because they've at least made the playoffs a bunch of times. They've just got bounced. Yeah, they're a C.
C.
And they made the conference finals this year too. And they're Hornets. Hornets have got to be fucking terrible. They've been awful. Yeah, F. Timberwolves are probably really bad.
One time.
They're D. Portland did. What are other like? I want to think of like what is the worst one ever. What are the White Sox? Like I want to know what the worst one is.
Yeah.
F minus. They're F minus. Okay. Can I just see like everybody? I want to see every team.
I've made a grave mistake.
Yeah, no. I'll be done in a second. The Browns are probably an F minus as well. They're an F, yeah. All right.
And the Bears are an F.
Yeah, that tracks. The Bears are real bad. Anyways, I won't get too deep into that. But yeah. Where'd that start? Zach LaVine?
Zach LaVine, we were talking about players that suck, franchises that would be desperate enough to bring him in as a marketing ploy, and then we got to that.
I don't think Zach LaVine's got pulled like that. Anyways, last NBA thing before we get into
have you seen this?
I have, yeah.
Oh no. Well, you as a listener probably haven't seen this. So if you don't know, Jaylen Wells is a rookie for the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think Jack and I are in a very low percentile of people that might be able to pick John Konchar up off the street and be like, that's him.
That's John Konchar.
So Jaylen Wells is going to tell you a story.
Yes, let me pull up the clip here. I had it and then it went away. Yeah, here is John Konchar and Jaylen Wells. I think it's John Konchar telling the story, but I'll let him.
They both tell their perspective.
I see. They can tell it better than I. And audio listeners, you'll get to hear it, but YouTube listeners, there's a little video with it.
In Cordelia's, I'm with my girlfriend at the time, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go up to him. I've never met him yet. I wasn't in Vegas or anything. I haven't met him yet. I see him over there. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna ask him for a picture, see if he recognizes me. Like, follow me and take a picture. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, I'm John. I'm a huge Grizzlies fan. Can I please take a picture with you? I shook his hand and everything. And my girlfriend's behind me, just taking a picture. And I'm like, dude, I appreciate it. Good luck this season. And we just walk away.
I took the picture and I walked around the corner. The cashier came up to me and said, do you know who you just took a picture with? I'm like, John. And then he was like, no, that's your teammate, John Konchar. Like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because it was slightly awkward when we took the picture. Like something was up.
That's all time. John Konchar is so funny, and there's a very select few of NBA players who can pull that off. Like they look normal out to be a normal person. He's one of them.
They look normal, and like they haven't been successful enough to like even like if John Konchar was like on the Celtics, you would know who he is because that team was like in the finals.
Yeah.
You know, he would have had some role in a playoff. Like Sam Hauser, you could be like, well, what about him? But Well, he was a sharpshooter, and everybody.
John
knows
Konchar is also like just short enough. Like Sam Hauser's like 6'8". If you see a
That's
6'8"
true.
guy there, you're gonna assume John Konchar like 6'4", which is like really tall, but it's just short enough where you're like, okay, he doesn't definitely play basketball.
I feel like
how
Ish
tall is
Smith
John
low
Konchar?
key could
He's
have passed
6'5".
as a regular guy because he was like
Probably.
6 feet tall.
You see, Ish Smith got a job.
Yes, and it's not killing the Celtics.
No,
He's actually had a job for a while.
Yeah. He's a scout for, you know what I meant. He's a scout for what? The Wizards? Is that what it was?
Yes, the Wizards picked him up as a scout.
They need him. They need him to scout some shit. Anyways, let's go to the Rattlers here. Sam, what do you got?
Rattlers is my company. My company, nobody loves to fucking fatten us up quite like my company does. They have had candy on the middle aisle for the entire week, and it's just sitting there. It's waiting for you to come over there and come get some. And when you work at a job where you're bored, you're going to go get some candy. Plain and simple. You can say, Sam, have some self-control. I have no self-control. I don't have self-control. I'd imagine I've told stories on this podcast before, but my mom bringing home like sleeves of cookies from her job. And like, I'll be like, you don't need to do this. We don't want the cookies. And she'll be like, well, I get them for me. What if I want a cookie? And then I say, go get a fucking cookie. Go somewhere and get a cookie. You do not have to bring home a thing of 12 cookies because you might want one single cookie.
You know she's right in this situation, though. Like in the grand scheme of things, though, correct?
If all you have to do is slap some diabetes on me and I'm the victim. That's it. That changes the entire story.
Nope.
No, it doesn't.
Because you could just not eat the cookies.
I'm just telling. I know how I am. My dad's the same way, and both of us are like this. And we're like, please do not do this thing. And she does it.
Yeah.
I think there is a layer to it where if you do it once and we're like, hey, don't, it's one thing. But then like if we're like, don't do this thing, and then you do it, it gets bad. It's like Ja when he had the gun. It's the same thing.
Not the same thing. Not even
Ja
close.
was
Nope,
like,
killing
oh,
it.
look at my
killing
cool
it.
gun on
No.
Instagram.
No,
and
no,
then
no,
the NBA was
no,
like, don't do this
no,
one thing.
No.
And
no,
then Ja did it again.
No.
And then he got suspended for 25 games.
Your
and I
mother
think it was
bringing
more
home
about the disobedience of the
your mom
request.
bringing home free cookies so she can have one when she wants one is not the same as John Morant flashing a gun on Instagram.
How is anyone going to know he has a sick gun?
You're a moron. Anti-Rattlers, the guys in the park yesterday, called me Jokic. Felt good. It was very fun. I was throwing in some nice post hooks in their face, and they made me feel real good about it. I played with like random people that were at the park, and we shot for teams, and I ended up on the team with, to put it kindly, you ever see a guy shoot a basketball and you know it's never going to go in? You know,
Yes.
not even like, oh, they're just not a great shooter. Like the form looks like they don't know how to shoot. And like they made a couple to their credit.
It looks like they still might be learning.
Yeah. And he's like, they're very nice. And he was very nice. Shout out Sean. But like he made like 2 shots the whole time. And I would just like, I'm the type of guy where like, if I see him open, I'm just like, shoot it. Cause like, it's no fun when you're like not like that. We're playing pickup in a park. Like if you are open, shoot the basketball.
Right.
We're having fun. I don't care that much. And I was also just getting all the rebounds anyway, so I was like, fine.
There were no people waiting. Like you if you lose, you don't have to sit.
No, it's just they were like
understandable then.
I was shooting. There was like 3 other people like, hey, do you guys want to play pickup? Played, and it's he's 3-point line because and so I'm like, hey, shoot it. Like, why do I care, right? And he basically say, hey, good shot, take the open ones, right? Because it's a fucking pickup game. Who cares?
Oh yeah, if someone's open and taking good shots, you cannot get mad at them. You
exactly.
Just can't. Like,
encourage it.
When you're playing pickup, there is like a layer of it. We are all having fun. Now, I played pickup today. When I play pickup, usually there is like a surplus. So like if you lose, you got to sit out a game, which sucks. Nobody wants to sit. I had a dude on my team, a regular, someone we all know is a chucker. And the thing about that is you cannot give him the ball. You can't, because you know it's going up no matter what. And like it's at the point like I see he catches a pass and I go box out. Like that's what it is.
See, that's what I did with this guy because I was the tallest dude on the court. So I was, and I'm pretty good at like seeing where rebounds are going to go off. And so I was just getting all the rebounds and putting them back. So we were fine. However, the other guy we played with, I don't know. I think he like didn't speak English super well.
Okay.
But he also like he didn't understand when we were on offense versus on defense, like who had the ball and whose ball it was. So he would just be standing at the 3-point line, like waiting to catch a pass. And I'm like, we're on defense, go catch it. And they were just getting left. So I felt a little bad. Again, I don't actually care. We're playing 3v3.
That's just like a funny problem to have. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, he was just like a little bit not understanding what was happening. And then there's the other kid we played with who was like, yeah, he wasn't actually being a dick, but you could just tell he wanted to win a little too much. Like,
yes,
we were playing to 11, and then we changed the game to playing to 15 because he wanted to make the last shot. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, stop. You're doing too much. And then he missed 4 last shots in a row, and so his buddy just took it from him and made it. And we're like, okay, like, dude, come on, man. But Park's fun. I like playing hoops. I like being the biggest guy out there, so I can just play like Jokic. That was a good time. I played with somebody the other day, who I'll tell you about after we finish recording, who is like the guy you described, where I just knew I would have to go box out because he was shooting it.
Well, the guy I was playing with like came up to me. He's like, "How come you're not passing me the ball?" And Jack, you've played basketball with me. I am not somebody who does not pass the ball. I don't. What do I care? If I'll make the right pass. And I was just like, well, I did pass it to him a couple of times, and I was just like, I hit you this time and that time. He's like, oh yeah, you did, whatever. He like fucked off, but like, I was like, I can't pass you the ball. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
I can't even like. Sometimes I can't even pass you the ball and go get the rebound because you just throw it up so fast. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know how you can like not.
Do I know this person who you're talking about?
No, you don't. Know.
I
don't know how you can play pickup and like not like feel that, like how you can not feel that everyone is like, why is this guy shooting every single time? And it doesn't like go in. It's not like he's like making like it half the time. Like it probably goes in like 1 out of like 11 times, and you're like, oh, I can't believe that guy just made a shot against me.
Yeah, it's not great. Not a good feeling.
So my final rat list is AI, a rat list regular. I have become uncharacteristically addicted to using meta AI to make renderings. I was on Xbox on Monday. Yeah, you're going to find out because I'm going to show you. I was on Xbox on Monday. Myself, Frank, and another friend of ours are in a party. And this other guy in our group chat he tags the Facebook AI and says, imagine this. And the AI sends like a mocked up image of whatever it is they ask for. And you can imagine the creative juices from everybody involved got rolling. Now, this has become something that I have done far too much of. It's insanely fun. You can make extremely funny things, and I am going to make one right now if I could talk and type. I don't know how you do that. I can't do it. But as it renders, I will show you an example of this.
What did you type in?
I'm not going to tell you what I typed in. I'm just going to show you the image because I don't.
Can I guess what you typed in based on the image?
Yeah, you can absolutely guess. Go ahead.
Can I show it on the show? Am I gonna have to blur it?
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, you can show it. All right, I'm gonna share screen.
Share this.
I actually can just start doing it in the DM with you on Facebook. I could do that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, let's see it. What'd you cook up for us?
So here is my AI image.
Oh my god. Okay.
So if you're listening, it is my face. I've put on a few pounds, and I'm riding a tricycle with a bunch of cheeseburgers.
Oh my god, that is your face. Wait, that's terrifying.
Yes, that's why it's
does it know you? Wait.
No, because
I want to do me. Send it to me. Wait, do me.
I can't do you. You have to do you. You have to
send me the link.
it's like 2K where you scan your face, which I was skeptical to do at first, but the avalanche was happening where all the boys were doing it. I was like, I'm gonna get in on it. So then I've bled this over into my work day, and I showed my friends from work, and they started making the renderings. But so you can only have it do so many things with your face. It will not give your face a sad expression for whatever reason. So
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's kind of annoying because it would be way funnier if you could. Because I was like, make me like look distraught, and it was like, no. It was like, I can't do that. And it just like sent my normal face. And I was like, why is that a thing? Don't do that. This was another one that I mocked up. You can guess what I put in this. I'll take the red off.
I can do it.
Find it. Okay, you do it. I'll share. If you're listening, I'm sorry.
Sam's just typing away a storm.
No, because this one I did. I'm not going to type anymore. I'm just going to go in my thing and find it.
What is it? Is that a mango? Is that a mango? Am I correct?
It is a mango.
You sad mango? Like
I did distraught
Smoking a
mango
cigarette?
looking at fruit salad.
why? What made you do that?
Because my buddy was like, type in like angry lemon. Let me see what else I have. Let's
Interesting.
see. Oh, I can just look on the bottom. He was
I
like,
was gonna say I see some other people at the bottom.
he was like, type in angry lemon wearing a
Oh, damn.
beanie. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what other fruit can I do?
Is that
And I
lucky?
was like, huh?
I see a leprechaun next to the fruit.
I did a leprechaun. I was like distraught leprechaun with an empty pot of gold. It didn't happen. But this was my favorite one. This is a distraught green apple.
It's cracking.
There's this one,
Interesting.
me at the candy shop. This is how I felt eating all my candy at work.
Mhm.
This is my regular face. Me in the candy.
Scary.
What is this one? Oh, this is me doing a food challenge.
It's because it like looks like you enough, but like not enough where I would definitely.
Yeah, you're
I
not
could
like, is
pick
this
out that it was
real?
you. Man, that's what the hell. All right, get this out of here. Get this off the screen. I don't like it anymore. I don't like it.
You can waste a whole afternoon just doing that.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That is.
I still
that
hate
is
AI,
scary.
but at least
Sure.
I'm getting my money's worth.
Anyways,
Jack,
appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Jack is going to be making AI images like all night.
Absolutely not. I don't have time.
You're going to get.
I can't get sucked in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and all that. Sam, take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment, tell us what you think of the AI images, tell us what you think of preseason. It's gonna be here tomorrow. Can you believe it? Make sure you hit the notification bell too, because Jack and I are going to be doing videos the whole time, as we always do. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Other videos coming at you in between. Game recaps are up on the channel the day after each game. You can also find Jack and I on Spotify and Apple. Oh, by the way, pregame, 11:30, Friday. Be there. We're back. All of our pods and recaps are on Spotify and Apple, so if you are into the audio platforms, go ahead and follow us. All of it's going to go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys. You saw Joe send in his email today. Usually we get a couple more. We love to have you part of the show, so definitely send those emails in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the pod. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's Money. NBA mine's at Sam LaFrance. NBA, that's it for us. Bye.
Tackle. Come on.
Tackles.
Tackle.